A gray-furred rabbit is lying dead in the streets of the Olympic Village. She's not dead, though. She's fine. Sonic the Hedgehog catches sight of her and rushes over. He cradles the rabbit in his arms. Her name's M. We're gonna call her that. Everyone knows this. In classic anime death scene style. M, what happened? Who did this to you? Sonic, I ate the bad Garfield pizza. I ate it and my tummy is dying. M, why would you do this? You know what Garfield Eats does to people. I don't know. Why does anyone have a death drive? Okay, level with me, rookie. Are you having depression again? Yeah. I don't want to work at the merch shop anymore. It sucks shit. That's okay. I'll have someone else cover it. Thanks. I thought that since you didn't qualify for any of the events, you would feel better if you had something productive to do while we're at the Olympics. But admittedly, settling with you with a retail job may not have been the best idea. I'm sorry. Em looks like she's going to respond, but instead she coughs up a mouthful of blood. Whoa! Okay, buddy, let's go get you some Pepto-Bismol or something. Pepto-Bismol, it'll unfuck your tum-tum. Now available at Garfield Eats. So I'm Emery, my pronouns are they, she, he. This is fucking check out this guy. We're doing a fun one this week.
I'll go. I'm Spike, and I'm also here. I was also involved in what we were talking about. I think I might be responsible for that Garfield pizza.
I'm Elvide. My pronouns are they, he, she. And I'm going into this one blind.
I feel like I didn't do a very good... That wasn't my best Sonic, for
that wasn't
sure,
your
but,
best?
You know, you get the idea.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was great.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that was the ad read for day 2?
Day 3.
Day 3, okay.
There wasn't an ad read on the first day, so that was the second one, so you know you're pretty close. So we're talking about Reaper's Olympics, an interstitial campaign that I read, and all the various guys that went into that campaign. So I guess I don't want to, get too deep into the plot. I already have, a podcast episode out there on the Podcast Minds 100 episode collection, where I talk just, all about the plot for 2 hours. So, that's there if you want to listen to it. I want to just focus more on the guys this time. But just to, basically summarize it, so the interstitial is a tabletop game inspired by crossover fanfiction. So my idea for this campaign was the Reaper's Olympics from The World Ends With You, a game where essentially all the contestants are dead and competing for the chance to return to life, and just sort of playing a bunch of games administrated by, people called Reapers, And so it's the Reaper's game, but set in the world at Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. So, yeah, so that's the premise. I thought it was very good and very funny.
It was.
I wish I'd been there.
Our player characters were Roger Rabbit from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, played by Patrick,
yes.
Future guest on the show. Mm-hmm. Assumedly, we're definitely trying to get him. Asriel Dreamer, who is a fan created alt universe version of Asriel Dreamer. I think from the fiction, from the fan work called Dreamer Reborn, I think, and this version of Asriel is combined, using the Amalgamate playbook, sort of sharing a body with Frisk from Undertale.
That matches my memory.
Uh-huh. And the third one, Spike, why don't you tell us about the third one?
So the third one was a very specific AU version of Dr. Eggman from Sonic the Hedgehog.
Hell yeah.
Should I get into, like, his backstory and how it diverges from the games?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Let's do it. We're here for the characters. We're here for backstory.
Okay, so basically this is mostly based off of my own personal reading of Sonic and Eggman. Which is that in all the ways that actually matter, they are the same character. It's that particular kind of protagonist antagonist mirroring of each other. You know, that they're both extremely good at what they do. They're both quick thinking, they're both impulsive, and they both will just rush into things without considering any other perspective. So that was my starting place. Part of the backstory was that he was like, he wanted to grow up to be like his hero and grandpa Gerald, but like he wasn't gonna bother with the entirely slow process of getting degrees. So he created Eggman University that had as part of its rules that you could test out of any class but still get full credit for it. So, and this is in universe, this is a actual fully accredited university. So he has a variety of actual degrees.
Great.
And so he was like, climate change and all of that's really bad, but realistically, you're not gonna fix it in a lifetime. So fuck it. Let's go any means necessary. And so things kind of proceed onward as they do in the games, and Sonic the Hedgehog shows up and ruins everything repeatedly, and he just then becomes hyper fixated on Sonic and completely forgets the entire point of what he was doing.
Because Eggman's solution for climate change is to imprison all the animals inside robotic bodies where they will be safe from the environment around them while it gets fixed.
Yes. Well, no, like, it's also those robots do a terraforming project, but if they went through, they would, like, kill all the animals in the process. So, if you are literally destroying the world so that you can terraform it back to being fixed, this was the method he came up with of, doing, not damaging and killing things.
Yeah, just use the animals as a power source. It's such an efficient solution. Good job, engineer brain.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with it at all.
Yeah, so and so we get to the modern games, and some of them happen, some of them don't, and they don't happen in the same order. But Generations happens, and he learns about alternate universes. So he starts investigating those. So canonically in this game, he knows of Kingdom Hearts. He knows of Sonic 06. And then
he knows about Undertale because he's played it.
Yes, but that's just normal Sonic the Hedgehog canon.
Yeah, true.
The Sonic the Hedgehog Twitter takeovers. I treat them as this is who these characters actually are.
Eggman plays Undertale, Shadow watches Kill la Kill.
Yeah.
It's all canon. Everything is canon.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Shadow would watch Kill la Kill. It's about him.
So Elvir, what's your take so far? Actually, what is your experience with Sonic and or Twewy?
My experience with Sonic is that I listen to the Sonic Shuffle and that I've seen one Sonic movie.
Perfect.
So really everything you could tell me anything about Sonic and I'd say, right, okay, so now I've made a mental note, like, watch a Skillakill. This is canon for me because I don't know any better. Why would you lie to me?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, in Sonic the Hedgehog, there's a god that lives in the center of the earth, and every 10,000 years it splits the world apart into like 7 or 8 pieces and destroys the whole damn thing.
Sometimes spring cleaning gets a bit extreme. I understand that.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the only way to stop the evil god is for a good god who is just a fucking tiny little shit gremlin.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Tiny little shit gremlins get the most work done.
I mean, this is actually... Yeah, that's true.
So,
You're trying to prove me wrong, but you can't.
Yeah.
So Sonic lore, we like it.
Yes. I grew up on it. Like, I was even part of the online Sonic community in the 90s. So I got Sonic pilled real hard back in the day.
Elvir, did you know that there's a princess from another dimension who has fire powers? And, she's from another dimension. She goes over to Sonic's dimension. They're enemies at first, but then they become friends because Blaze learns to overcome her trauma around, like...
Her name is Blaze?
Relating to other people. Her name is Blaze.
That's great character design. I love
She's
that.
purple.
And then the next time we see Blaze, she is not in her home dimension. She's 200 years in the future in a post-apocalyptic wasteland, fighting an evil earth-killing fire monster, who she seems to be connected to through her own fire powers.
Mm-hmm. And she hangs out with history's greatest twink.
Yep, Silver the Hedgehog.
I don't know who Silver the Hedgehog is.
He's psychic powers. He time travel. We like him.
Mm-hmm.
I've now Googled Blaze and wow, amazing. Great design. I can't believe I didn't know her before.
Yes.
I fucking love Blaze, as we're gonna get to.
All right. So let me finish up real quick because it's basically just what leads directly into the campaign. So like the plot of Lost World happens, except Eggman does not double cross Sonic. When he fakes his death, he just fucks off then. And he starts building the Interstellar Amusement Park like in Colors. Sonic and Tails show up and like first encounter, they blow up the Eggmobile. He does not eject. He dead.
He did.
He did.
That's what happens when you don't eject.
It sure is. So at this point, Elvir, I want to introduce you to the Reapers of the campaign. Why don't you take a look at that image I posted in host channel?
Oh my god! Can I watch?
You may or may not have seen this already. I don't know. So, could you describe what we got here? Can you just sort of point at those little guys and tell me what you're seeing?
I'm seeing the Overlord Mario is what I'm assuming. I'm seeing Blaze in the coolest pose ever. Like, I'm so obsessed with Blaze, I forgot everyone else. I'm looking at the other ones, and I genuinely cannot put a name on them. I'm seeing a cool Star Wars. Is that a Jar Jar Binks t-shirt?
Oh, it sure the fuck is.
Oh, hell yeah. Is it Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Yeah.
It's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, like, in a biker jacket, wearing a Jar Jar t-shirt and a Stormtrooper belt buckle.
And the cowboy boots.
And the cowboy boots.
Yes.
With the tassels. I'm trying not to call them what I would call them. They're fuck me boots.
Yeah.
Is that intentional?
I think Obi-Wan is still abstinence, but he is kind of a fuckboy. I don't know.
He's a tease. A tease. Yeah. I'm seeing someone in the second coolest pose ever in green, and once again, no idea. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
I'm so bad at recognizing.
This is a Digimon protagonist,
and I should know the Digimon.
He is a red hair anime boy in a green tracksuit, with eyes that currently aren't glowing red and ominously. So this is Ozura Eugene. He's one of the protagonists from App Monsters, and he's one of my favorite boys of all time.
I get a pass for not recognizing him.
He's so gay. He is... He is so homosexual, Elvire.
Yeah.
I know, I need to watch it.
He wants to kiss Haru so bad.
Yeah. This is part of the pairing that they did an episode on We Rate Queerbait, and my argument was that the show did not belong on We Rate Queerbait because it wasn't.
Yeah.
You should have done it for April Fools instead of Halo.
But yeah, we've talked about Eugene extensively on We Rate Queerbait. Spike was there.
Yeah.
And then we also have Eugene's little partner, Offmon, who's just a baby in a big oversized coat and big hat.
Love the hat. The hat is amazing.
Both I and Eggman love the hat. Both Eggman and I in real life have copied Offmon stuff.
Great. So then we've got Neferpito from Hunter x Hunter in a real slutty outfit. They're wearing they're wearing fishnets and apparently no pants or anything. So I don't know if they're just hog out. Who knows?
I'm assuming, yeah. I didn't watch Hunter x Hunter long enough to really know who this is.
Neferpito is great. I like them.
Those boots.
Some fucking thigh highs.
Yeah. And the sleeves or arm warmers. Like it.
Yeah. The sleeveless coat and then the arm warmers. It's a whole ass look.
Yeah, he's looking extremely slutty, in parentheses positive.
Yes.
Oh, and then who's that sicko on the bottom?
Is that... I can't tell because it's upside down. Is it Wario?
Waluigi.
That's Waluigi. Describe that Waluigi, please.
I don't know. I think if I look at it too long, I'll get nightmares.
It's Waluigi. It's Waluigi with red Judge Doom eyes and wearing lingerie and big bazonga honks.
Yeah, I'm seeing the he looks like he's about to grab his own tongue.
Can you blame me?
The waistline on this boy, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Is he bending over, or are those his legs?
Yeah, no, that's like, he's like wearing a cloak. I don't know. He's kind of like, fading around the midsection.
Because it's upside down. I thought he was bending over and just pushing his boobs up.
I mean, he is pushing his boobs out, but
Yeah. Amazing artwork.
So
somehow Digimon looks the least gay in this.
So those are the Reapers. Those are some of the recurring NPCs throughout the campaign. Just like fucking aesthetically for this, I wanted to put guys from a bunch of different series in it, but also just have them wearing like the fucking ridiculous ass Tokyo street fashion of like The World Ends With You. So I had fun with these outfit designs.
They are very good.
You do like to draw them slutty, though. I'll say that.
I sure do. I love to draw slutty outfits. It's great.
God, the boobs.
I've never commissioned you to do a slutty outfit, have I?
I don't think so.
That's amazing.
It really is. You should. You should tell me to draw something slutty.
Look. It'll happen.
Great.
I mean, this is hints at a future episode, I guess. You remember the sneaking suit?
Ooh, yeah, I think I do.
I don't.
And those aren't the only NPCs.
That's true. Yeah, there's like a shit ton of NPCs. There's like 20 plus of them. You see, I have this terrible tendency where I tend to be very maximalist about it. I was just like, could I put this group of characters into the campaign? No? Well, I'm gonna do it anyway. So like I've got Kirby in there. I've got Maximilian Pegasus. I've got Master Chief. I've got Gwendolyn from Mouse Guard. I've got Shadow the Hedgehog. Like, also more importantly, as you heard in the intro, I've got M the Bun, who is my Sonic OC.
Yes.
I originally created her in Sonic Forces, so that's kind of, her backstory. She, fucking got traumatized in the war started by, Eggman, or rather, Neo Metal Sonic pretending to be Eggman in this world, because Eggman fucking died.
Yes.
So, yeah, and then she, like, joined up the resistance and fucking fought the bad guy Infinite, who attained godlike powers through Neo Metal's experimentation and the Phantom Ruby. You know how it is. But then the thing is, after the events of that game, she got really depressed and kind of stopped, just really fell off her game. When it was time for the Mario and Sonic Olympics, she tried out for some events and just, like, failed all her qualifiers and, just fell even deeper into depression. And Sonic was, as you heard, Sonic sort of settled her with, like, a shitty retail job so she would have something to do.
And our first mission was to obtain...
to get her to do her fucking job.
Yeah, was to go and get the Knuckles pin from the Sonic merch shop.
Which she was not attending in the slightest.
So you wouldn't call it a success, then?
Oh, we failed the mission.
Oh, they sure did. Yeah, the mission was to try to, psychically transmit memes into M's consciousness, telling her to get back to work, and all the fucking die rolls were so bad that episode. Things just, got cascadingly worse, and somehow you all ended up in Garfield Eats, and you ate pizza that made you sick.
Yeah, that's another important NPC.
Oh, Garfield.
Yes. But not just normal Garfield. Gothfield.
No. Yeah, sexy goth Garfield from Twitter.
Of course he's sexy, yeah.
Yeah. Fucking everyone is either, highly slutty or asexual in this campaign. I think I made the observation that there's, no middle ground.
Yeah,
I think asexuals should be allowed to dress slutty.
That's true. Yeah. M is dressed kind of slutty. I'll post what M looks like.
Yeah, and, I remember that it was down to a dice roll, as to how Eggman was going to respond to Gothfield, and it was almost that he fell in love with her. That is not what happened, He decided to hate her.
Oh, such a thin line.
Yes, but it was down to a dice roll as to how that relationship existed.
So I just posted M's outfit for this campaign in the host chat. I hope you enjoy the level of sluttiness on display.
I understand that he almost fell in love. It is a look.
Yeah. Well, no, with Gothfield.
With Garfield, yeah.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, well, maybe he should fall in love with M instead.
No, he did not fall in love with M, but he did try to cheer M up.
Yeah.
Like this was very Depression Eggman.
Also very Depression M.
Yeah.
Oh, you did a Depression campaign.
So
I sure did.
Yeah, so Eggman was like, well, I'm gonna try to cheer them up, and maybe that'll cheer me up. It just failed spectacularly. Now, I know who the most important NPC was. And I do not know how to describe them. But it was Peppermint Steve.
Yeah.
Amazing name to start it off, yeah?
Yeah, I think Peppermint Steve is from Santa's Village.
Yes. He was in charge of the Union.
He was in charge of the Elf Union. And the thing about Santa's Village is that Mario, the conductor / like the head of the Reapers and overseer of the Reapers game, wanted to bulldoze Santa's Village to build like more Olympic stadiums and more Olympic events. So Peppermint Steve, like sort of like with the mimetic motivation of Dr. Eggman and the rest of the party, fucking led the Elf Union to sabotage all the construction vehicles.
Oh, and that was when we had like 3 different groups. All end up there at the same time. So there was Gwendolyn's group, which we befriended.
Yeah, Pegasus's group, who Roger bribed into helping them.
Yeah.
And then Dr. Starline's group.
Yeah. Who we fucked up. I noted that Dr. Eggman was aware of Kingdom Hearts. So he had created a quote unquote Keyblade. Which was just a Keyblade shaped chainsaw. And first reaction to knowing that there was a potential fight that involved Donald Duck was to immediately chainsaw him out of the fight.
Let your heart be your guiding chainsaw.
Look, that is the most dangerous person at the fight.
Yeah, Donald Duck is canonically the most powerful mage in the Final Fantasy universe.
Yeah.
He casts Zeta Flare.
Yeah, he sure does. Oh, should I share what my links were?
Oh yeah, let's go. Let's hear.
Okay, so this is how it ended up at the end of the campaign. My light links were with Badniks, Frisk, Asriel, Roger. Of course, those make sense. Tails. The dark links were with Donald Duck, Shadow the Hedgehog, and Toad. I guess this will not make sense. I'm realizing if you don't know interstitial. Mastery links with Haru from Digimon Atmon. Peppermint Steve, which was a which was an immediate locked link, which meant he was super important. One I'm skipping, Dr. Starline. And then the heart links were with M the Bun, Sonic the Hedgehog, Blaze, and Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Great.
Good.
One of the fun things about Interstitial is, if you have a strong connection with an NPC or really a PC also, is that you have these different categories of links, but you have to roll for them. And if you roll poorly, then the GM
just gives you a different one.
Yeah, sometimes. So, some of these were not the intended relationship.
So yeah, let's see. What was the stuff a few important things I wanted to talk about this episode with regards to this campaign. Gosh. Well, yeah, M was really, really depressed, and, aside from being, generally a very depressed character, I wanted to put my funny little Sonic OC in the campaign, a campaign that is very heavy on, the Sonic characters, and, I wanted to get M in there, because she's fun and I like her, but, also I didn't want to fall into, the tabletop thing of the game master having their self-insert OC pet character just being super cool and taking away attention from all the players. So the sort of mission statement for M in the campaign was that she has to be super depressed and she can't do anything useful or effective.
Oh, me in real life.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it went well. I think I did a good job.
You did.
Also, just how, towards the end of the campaign, I started taking Wellbutrin, which was not going great for me. So I really got to channel some of that fucking energy into the character, who by the end of the campaign, a bunch of terrible, shitty stuff kept happening to her. She kept taking ills, and by the end of it is all right, fuck it. I'm going home. I know there's gonna be a final boss fight later. I don't even wanna. I'm not even interested. I'm just gonna leave. And part of the party's mission was to convince her to stay because they needed to get everyone together in order to create a miracle and defeat the final boss.
And we did it.
You sure did.
Can we talk about Luigi's?
Yes, let's do it. So
multiple Luigi's?
No,
Luigi's Italian restaurant.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
So we were given I think we were given an off the books mission to go there.
No, Neferpito was just hey, you might want to check out this thing happening. Because Neferpito's thing is that they control puppets, so in Hunter x Hunter originally, this means they control a bunch of human corpses that they can maneuver and manipulate and gather information from. But I decided that in the underground, their powers had evolved even further, to the point where they could control insects and some of the enemies that the party ended up fighting were puppeted corpses of Mario enemies, so just fucking dry bones and zombie Goombas and shit. So that was an aesthetic. And yeah, so Neferpito's thing is that they just know what's happening at all times throughout, the underground. So so they were hey, something funny is happening at Luigi's tonight. You should go check it out.
Yeah. So I had I had done Mario Kart that day, where I got to see like the one character that I had history with and respect for.
Yeah.
And immediately misgendered her.
Yeah, so as like part of his character write-up, Spike said that Eggman was like pretty much friends with no one, had like no positive relations, but like, was, held like a level of respect for Tails. So I was like, great, I'll put that in my back pocket. That I will use this later to create drama, and I did.
Yeah. So that happened. There was a whole thing with Shadow, and Eggman. Oh, one thing. No one knew who we were. That was part of the Reaper's game. Was that you were not recognizable to anyone?
Yeah, because this game like necessarily has like a lot of dead people interacting with living people. So I was like, how do we reconcile that? People just can't recognize you.
Yeah, so I tried to get Shadow to either recognize me or shoot me in the head.
And the thing about that rule is that it kind of sucks and is restricting and limiting. So the characters are just allowed to break it if they roll good.
Yeah. So that happened. So when we went to Luigi's, Eggman was like, "Oh, I have all these characters that I'm potentially becoming friends with, and we're going to a restaurant, so I will invite them." But he was also feeling very bad and stopped at a service station or like a Quickie Mart type deal, and he bought a box of mints for Tails. Just as a, like, I'm sorry, here, a small token. But he also bought 240s and, shotgunned them.
And then just proceeded to be the absolute worst, throughout the course of the night.
Yeah. And then he went to the alley to throw up.
So an all-around bad experience, or did anything good happen for him?
He got crushed by a giant anvil.
Yeah,
depending on the mood, that could be a good thing.
There was a whole group of characters from multiple realities all scared and disturbed by the creepy man. Which I think was another ad read.
It was a Reaper report that sort of like continued into an ad read. I wrote a bunch of fiction that like went along with this campaign, like just sort of like what's going on with the NPCs in the background, like, happening contiguously with the campaign. So I wrote a Reaper report where, after that dinner, fucking M, Haru, and Tails were all kind of weirded out by the encounter that night. It was just like, who was that fucking guy? Why did he invite so many trans women out to dinner? Why did he give Tails candy? I kind of don't think we should, like, go back to our hotel rooms this night. We should, like, fucking sleep somewhere different. They all go, to spend the night with one of Haru's friends, Ray, also from App Monsters, and then just, like, also Sonic shows up, also Shadow shows up, also Garfield shows up, and they just kind of all have to be in a room together, and that was very fun for me to write.
Yeah. Garfield was invited.
She was, but she didn't read the invitation very carefully.
What did she think she was running into?
Oh no, I meant Garfield was invited to the dinner, and Garfield did not reply and blocked me instead.
Yeah. It was very funny because, like, at some point, Spike failed a roll, so I was like, okay, I get to do a hard cut at some point. I get to do, like, a move, I get to do a hard move. So, like, while Eggman was, like, being confronted with, like, this giant, like, monstrous toon construct, like, that he was getting his ass absolutely kicked by, I was like, all right, here it is. I'm using the hard cut that's, been sort of hanging over your head like the sword of Damocles. You're taking all this damage. You're getting your ass kicked. What happens now that I'm doing something even worse to you? M and Garfield block your number.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I heard you're down. What if I dig it a little deeper?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe I don't want to play interstitial with you. No, it sounds like a fun time, to be honest. This sounds great.
Elvire, you have not seen the list of the Olympic events.
I have not.
Yeah, let's fucking... It's in voice text. I will scroll to it now.
I'm also hosting it in the host channel.
Okay. Yeah, that's more helpful.
Normal. Yeah, this is how I would describe the Olympics.
Do we want to, like, go round robin listing off these events for the audience? Because I love them all.
Everyone should pick their favorite one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's all pick one.
There's multiple pages there. Oh my god, there's more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Here's a pretty solid one that we didn't actually do in the campaign, because, like, the thing I did in this campaign was, like, when I didn't, like, have story stuff that I wanted to happen, I was just like, okay, here's a big list of, like, worlds you can go to and Olympic events taking place there. Go nuts. Just, like, go do whatever you want. Just, like, get into a silly little competition and win a gold medal. So one of the ones that, like, didn't end up happening in the campaign would have taken place in Dracula's castle, and the event name is 19th century medicine. Olympic 19th century medicine.
I mean, which is a few entries below werewolf transformation.
Oh dear.
Very competitive event, that one.
One of my favorites was in the cyber arena,
arena from App Monsters.
Mm-hmm. And it is entitled "Experiencing Botherations."
Very good.
Yeah, you definitely would have met Endlessly Suffering Old Man if you had gone to that event. Endlessly Suffering Old Man from App Monsters.
Yeah, otherwise known as French Mr. Satan.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. Of course.
What's catching your eye, Elvire? What do you want to call attention to?
I'm intrigued by competitive tickling, because in brackets between it you have delayed due to ongoing investigations. What happened there?
That's based on a true story, actually.
Oh no!
Oh no!
There was, like, a documentary about it, which I do not know the name of, where, like, there was, like, this whole, like, competitive tickling league, and it got shut down because, like, it was it was like just a fetish. It was just someone's fetish that they engineered an entire sport around.
Oh boy.
I recently watched an anime that is like a magical girl parody, and it also had a tickling episode, and you just got to get through that because you know why they put that in there.
Yeah.
Someone really went for the bit and got away with it for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. God. One of the locations was in space.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think after that horrible experience, Eggman entered into the event staring into the void.
Yep.
And got gold.
Got a gold medal. He was the only participant in that event.
But he did very well. He did a lot of soul searching at that point.
Yeah, pivotal moment for his character based on this extremely silly joke I did. You know, the fun thing about this is, like, a lot of these, I was just, like, writing things down. I did not know what the event would look like at all if you, like, decided to do it. Like, one of the events is just go in a direction and see where you end up. One of them is...
You really liked writing fishing minigames.
Yes.
Yeah. The joke there is, like, you know, this list kept, like, growing and expanding as the days went on. So one time in an earlier version of the list, I accidentally put fishing minigames on there twice. So then I was like, fuck it, no, that's on purpose. Everywhere needs to have fishing minigames.
You said no one else ever did Staring into the Void, and that's false.
Starline did it on a later day.
Yes, on a later day, and I walked in and interrupted his event. But...
So you're saying you cheated, and actually someone else could have gotten gold?
No. No. But,
Or someone else could have broken the world record.
True. Yeah, Starline could have gotten WR.
Yeah. I don't think so.
Probably not.
He is who he is.
Starline is not very self-aware.
No.
God, I wish that were me.
What? Is there anything we should talk about before we talk about the ride?
How late can you...
I was just about to say, do you guys want me to drop out so you can keep going, or do we do a second episode?
I'd prefer if you stick around. Like, how late can you stay up? I don't want to keep you.
I don't want to stay up too late, and I do have to get up at 6:30 tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. We might keep going then.
Yeah, I'm sorry. How much longer do you want to talk?
I want to talk about Tails.
I want to hear about
that.
Tails.
Might take a while.
And I want to talk about the ride.
Oh, yeah, if it's multiple things, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to jump out and be smart and go to sleep. 1 more month, and then I'm free.
Well, have good sleeps.
Bye.
Yeah, good night. So which ride do you mean?
Well, that would, of course.
No, I know which one you
mean. So, just everything kind of aligned because a documentary was released mid-campaign. And it was about the Garfield Dark Ride.
Yeah, this was the Defunct Land video on YouTube, I believe.
Yeah, which then meant, one, that I think, like, one evening we actually just plain watched that.
That was the day before the session.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, great, fantastic. This answers a question I've been asking myself, which is, where should I put Waluigi's lair in the campaign?
And the answer was that Cubot and Orbot, bought the defunct Garfield Dark Ride and put it in Eggman Land.
Yeah, kind of like the whole story with Eggman Land is like, after Eggman died, like, it couldn't keep up its operating costs of running in space, so it got relocated to Emerald Coast, where, if you remember Sonic Adventure 1, Emerald Coast is, like, by a city which Eggman is responsible for destroying and killing thousands of people.
Also, there's another amusement park there.
Also, there's another amusement park right across the street, so you can imagine how business was going.
Uh-huh. So yeah, I mean, I kind of it ends up being that I think the end of the documentary is, wow, you guys did a lot of gay stuff on the Garfield Dark Ride.
And I made a joke in session, though I'm not sure if anyone caught it, where, you had a group of NPCs together, like, going with you to confront Waluigi, and Garfield was like, yes, I know these back rooms better than anyone.
Yes! Yes, no, I caught that.
And not just because Garfield's name is on the ride. Like, no. Garfield has fucked there.
Oh, no, that was a thing in the campaign, was that Garfield fucked.
Garfield fucked.
Garfield fucked Yoshi, during the campaign.
Not on screen.
No, not on screen, but, Yoshi requested Garfield's contact information, and Azrael had to make a trade to put them in contact with each other.
What was that scene? I think, Azrael was, offering to, put Yoshi in touch with Roger Rabbit's union rep. And then, Eggman was like, oh, I've got the number, but then you rolled bad. So I was like, okay, what number do you give Yoshi instead? And it was Garfield's. And I was like, okay, no, they definitely fucking later.
Yeah, Yoshi also made out with the Xenomorph Queen.
That's true. Oh, what a funny campaign.
Oh, yes, it was. We found Waluigi's lair. Waluigi was also kind of the scary spider.
The thing with... Okay, man, how much do I want to explain Waluigi? Okay, I'll really quickly go over Waluigi. So I wanted Waluigi to be, the Show Me Namimoto stand-in. So, Minamimoto from the original World Ends With You, he wants to take over the position of the composer, which is, a godlike being that, controls reality and, a very broad overarching sense, within the domain of their Reapers game. So he wanted to do that. And, to do it, he wanted to get stronger. He did a bunch of experiments with taboo noise, which are illegal noise that are way stronger than regular type. So he sort of combined his own soul with taboo noise and became kind of funky and fucked up. So my idea that I had in the first session is that Waluigi combines himself with toon noise, essentially taking the properties of toon characters from Roger Rabbit. So he used, he sort of coerced Jessica Rabbit into performing a ritual, which would convert a bunch of regular noise into toon noise, sort of using Jessica as a template. So when Waluigi absorbed the toon noise, that's where he got the Gazanga Hongas from.
He sure did. So
we got Jessica Rabbit titties.
Yeah. So we took out Waluigi.
By taking him out, you defeated him, but you decided not to kill him because Roger Rabbit wanted to be his kismesis.
Yeah, but someone was there with invisibility cloak or something.
Yeah, that was funny Dr. Starlight.
Yeah, and we took him out and tied him up with steel cable.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went to hell.
And then you went to hell.
And we left him there. Or I left him there.
So one of the worlds you could go to participate in Olympic events was Christian Hell, which is funny because this game is already taking place in the afterlife of this multiverse. So Christian Hell just also exists. Don't worry about it. And the three events there are, of course, Suffering, Guitar Hero 3 boss battle, and fishing minigames.
Yes. So,
this is funny.
Yeah.
I made a funny fucking game.
Yeah, also, I had won a Create Your OC, Olympic event.
Yeah. They all participated in Draw Your OC event in the Ewok village.
Which meant, I got the power of, Takuto's Diarc. That's
so true.
Which I used to make an AU version of Belle. Instead of
Belle from the IDW comic.
Yeah. Instead of being Tinker's Belle, I went for the other fairy tale pun of Belle the Beast Tamer.
Mm-hmm.
And so she got put in charge of Eggman Land.
Having the most funnest first day on the job ever.
Uh-huh.
Being like, oh no, none of this is profitable.
No. But, because we're also going with, Twitter takeover canon, Eggman is ridiculously rich. So she was given access to the bank accounts.
Mm-hmm.
So problem solved, hopefully.
Yep.
That was the heart link that I had skipped. And I guess when we're done, I'll toss, pictures in Show Us Your Guys.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think I want to talk a little bit about Blaze and Eugen, and then we can talk about Tails to, like, maybe cap it off.
Mm-hmm.
Blaze and Eugen, they're my favorite little guys. Like, I love them from, like, the respective pieces of media they're in. Like, I love Blaze the Cat. I love Ozra Eugen. They're like, fucking some top-tier guys from Sonic and Digimon. So, like, honestly, like, their relationship was, like, one of the first things in the sort of conceptual stages of this campaign that, like, really made me attached to this world. Because I was like, if I do, like, a World Ends With You thing, then who would be in it? Well, it's Sonic in the Olympics. I gotta have a Sonic character. And, you know, I'm fucking obsessed with Digimon, so I gotta have a Digimon character. And the thing with the Reapers is that I wanted to use characters who had, like, died in their you know, respective pieces of media. So, like, my headcanon for Eugene, like, it's kind of ambiguous at the end of App Monsters, but, like, my reading is that he died and then got replaced by an identical copy. And then, you know, Blaze dies in Sonic 06, but then the timeline gets reset, and then there is just, like, a, you know, alternate timeline version of Blaze. So they're, like, both characters who died and, like, got replaced by copies, essentially. And also, they're both characters who died, like, you know, like, because of their, like, sort of inherent, like, fucking deep level connection to, like, the big bad of the campaign. So, you know, when they died in their respective universes, like, sort of Blaze, like, inherited the power of Iblis and, like, got Iblis as, like, a psych that she could use. And then, you know, the same thing happened for Eugene and Leviathan. Like, you know, so yeah, you know, they just kind of met in the underground. Like, Blaze had been a Reaper for a few years, like, before Eugene showed up. And then, like, you know, they got to know each other, like, realized they were in, like, very similar circumstances and, you know, kind of, like, didn't have, like, anywhere to go because, like, I don't know, can you, like, come back to life when there's, like, a different version of you, like, living the life you were supposed to have? So, you know, they're just kind of, like, you know, both dealing with that angst and, like, you know, both being like, well, I guess we'll just, like, sort of stay here in the underground and become Reapers. And, like, yeah, that's kind of the position they're in and, like, why they bond so strongly as friends. And I really like that for them. I think it's nice.
They were very good together.
yeah, that was big part of why the reason this world exists is because I wanted to put them in it, like, honestly. And then, I had a bunch of very good ideas that, like, further, got me invested in the campaign. But yeah, that was, like, one of the really early ones that is just like, ooh, I need to make this happen.
Mm-hmm. But before you talk about Tales, would you also just very briefly say what the deal was with Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah, let's talk about Obi-Wan. So,
So Obi-Wan Kenobi is one of my favorite Star Wars characters.
Mm-hmm.
And this is absolutely Obi-Wan Kenobi, but he is awful and I hate him.
Yeah. So my concept for Obi-Wan Kenobi for this campaign is, like, I'm gonna be real honest, I don't remember the prequels very well, but, like, I know that, the fucking organization of the Jedi as a whole, like, kind of sucks shit on, like, a big structural level.
Yes, like, that's part of the point.
They're kind of like Catholicism, and then, like, as far as I remember, like, Obi-Wan, throughout the course of the series is never, like, anti-Jedi at any point. He's never like, oh, this organization kind of sucks and it's kind of doing bad things to my buddy Anakin. He's just like, no, the Jedi are good, and actually, like, if you don't agree with their ways, then maybe I'll just, like, start cutting your arms and legs off, So, I'm kind of, like, taking that interpretation of Obi-Wan and then, like, also, like, making it a version of Obi-Wan who knows about, like, Star Wars as a brand and is deeply committed to that. Like, hence the fucking god-awful Star Wars merch incorporated into his outfit, you know? So, this version of Obi-Wan, like, he's not, like, introduced as Obi-Wan at first. He is introduced as a player killer because, like the in-lore, the in-lore, like, explanation and sort of, like, reason for the Reaper's game existing is that, it's sort of like, it is kind of like a posthumous, like, sorting system for human souls. Like, most of the people who go through the Reaper's game are going to, like, get destroyed and, like, reduced to, like, psionic dust that sort of, like, gets, like, reincorporated into, like, the collective unconsciousness and then can, like, therefore be used to, like, form new souls and new psychic energy. And, like, the Reapers, the people who survive the game and either become Reapers or, like, come back to life are kind of, like, kind of the ones that, like, the system selects just, like, as, important or powerful or, like, capable of, like, either, like, administrating things or, like, creating positive change, and sort of guiding humanity in a positive direction. So, like, if you think about it, it's kind of a bad system. It kind of a, like, shitty way to, like, have an afterlife is to, like, have it be, like, this meritocracy, but also, like, your merit is, like, decided by kind of, like, these arbitrary games, like, written by, created by powerful, like, godlike beings. So, but, Obi-Wan, we know him. He doesn't question, systems or structural violence in any way. So he's just like, great, this aligns with my beliefs as a Jedi. When you die in the game, you just, like, you become one with the Force. This is good. This is positive. And because of that, I will fucking kill anyone who the system, deems me to kill.
All praise the Olympics and its terrible benevolence. All tremble before its mercy.
Yup. Fucking true.
I mean, you wrote that.
I sure did. I sure wrote that. That sure was the final ad read for the day. So that's Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah. He sucks. We like him.
He does suck. He sucked so bad.
He was a real bastard.
Uh-huh.
Fuck. Roger Rabbit killed him by making him trip and fall into lava.
Yes.
Let's talk about Tails then.
Let's fucking go.
Let's get into this bullshit. So, I said, I put Tails in my back pocket. I said, this is gonna be drama later. I will use this to cause problems.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, in this campaign, Tails is a trans girl, just, like, because that's my headcanon. Like, in my opinion, there's, like, a lot of textual support for that reading. Also, she just has, like, fucking girl vibes, I look at Tails and I say gender. So, yeah, this is, like, meant to take place, like, after, a few years after, like, canonical Sonic events. Like, in my interpretation, like, Tails is, like, an older teenager at this point, like, probably in, like, 17 to 19 range.
Like, I actually thought she was, like, even a few years older than that.
Yeah, I didn't really super specify anyone's age. I'm just like, yeah, this is kind of like the general range I'm like thinking of. So the thing about Tails is that she fucking killed Eggman, and Eggman doesn't know it. Spike said that Eggman, like, died, like, during the events of Sonic Colors. Like, basically what happens between Sonic and Tails was like, hey, this man just, like, colonized and enslaved an entire, like, sentient alien race. Like, he's done some bad shit before, but, like, this kind of crosses a line. Do we need to end this man? Do we need to fucking kill him dead? And so that's what they did. Like, Sonic, like, did the boss fight and, like, crashed Eggman's mech, but Tails was the one who sabotaged his escape mechanism so that the fucking fight would end him.
Yeah, the original intent was that Eggman was just too depressed to bother ejecting. But this was
suicide by Sonic.
Yeah, like, oh god, this means Sonic's a cop.
No, he's not.
I mean, sort of in this context.
He's a vigilante.
So this version, though, with Tails, is so much better narratively. So that's definitely what happened.
I mean, it's possible for both to be true.
I don't want to take that away from Tails, though. I mean,
fair.
But the funny thing is, upon learning this, Eggman is just cool with it.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I get it.
And the thing about Tails, she's incredibly guilty about it. She does not like that she committed a murder. And, like, part of the thing that was, like, motivating her to, like, fucking actually kill a guy is that, we talked about, like, the various links in Interstitial, and like, one of the links is heart links, whereas, like, you see aspects of yourself in someone else, and like, having that reflected, like, causes you to have, like, greater self-knowledge. Tails has a heart link with Eggman because, like, they're both, like, the fucking 300 IQ engineers, except that Tails is not okay with that because Eggman is the worst guy on the planet. So, like, she has kind of this, like, she, sees this, like, difference in herself that is, like, that she does not see reflected anywhere else in the world except in this one fucking bastard man who everyone hates. And she is like, damn, like, if I hadn't, like, ever become friends with Sonic, is, like, this the way I could have turned out? Like, so, she is, like, more, like, she definitely, like, wants for there to be redemption for Eggman, and, like, over all of their, through all of their adventures, she, like, okay, is this old man finally gonna learn a lesson? Is he finally, like, gonna fucking stop being such a shit and, like, take responsibility for his actions and, like, actually have, like, a modicum of, like, self-awareness and, growth, and he keeps not doing it. He keeps just getting worse, actually. So he had that, like, one little moment, and she was like, oh, maybe this time, where, like, Eggman didn't betray them, like, during Sonic Lost World, and then Eggman, like, came back and is worse than ever, so she's like, all right, I've had enough of this. I am so fucking tired of being emotionally invested in this shithead.
I mean, the answer to that question does end up being yes.
Yeah, he eventually, it takes fucking dying, but he does learn of it a lesson eventually.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that a little, like where Eggman was at, like towards the end of the campaign?
Okay, so at the end of the campaign, just very briefly plot-wise, we make it to the final boss. And we have no chance. Like, we all die.
Yeah, so it turns out, like, the reason why Mario is being such an imperialist bastard and, just plowing over all these worlds to make more Olympic events is because he is being possessed by the composer, the godlike being that Waluigi wants to overthrow, who is Wario, and Wario is controlling Mario with his evil mind control hat, Whoppy. I'm funny. I'm fucking funny. I wrote some silly stuff.
Yeah, I lose it at Whoppy every time. So yeah, that happened. But good news, we have Asriel on our team. There's a time loop.
Yeah, Asriel, Wario wipes the party, and then, like, Asriel has, like, a fucking, his own, like, moment of, like, character growth and self-realization where he meets, Flowey and Hanyu in, like, this fucking liminal, like, interdimensional space where his soul has been pulled together. And then, they, like, fucking, talk. I want to have Dan to, like, properly get into this scene, but, like, Hanyu from Higurashi is there and, like, tells him to believe in himself and tells him that, like, he's up against impossible odds, but, if he gets everyone, together, if he gets, like, literally a character in the campaign to, like, believe in each other and believe in the possibility of a miracle, then they can defeat Wario, the composer.
Yeah. So we redo the final day of the Olympics.
Asriel is the only one with any memory of the previous loop.
Yes. We gather everyone, all the Reapers, all the various competitors, all the friends. We gather them all on the partially reconstructed Death Egg below Eggman Land, as you do. Which I really only mentioned because one of my favorite scenes was while actual plot was going on, Eggman was running around frantically in the background, constantly disabling traps because, it kept, like, the automated defense systems kept on trying to target everyone there, especially Sonic.
I remember at some point, like, Sonic and Eggman were sassing each other, and Sonic was like, yeah, fine, leave them on. You think that shit can hit me?
I mean, he still continued trying to make sure no one got hurt, though. So, I mean, there was some growth there, but when we redid the final battle, I immediately spent it, but I did make a heart link with Wario.
Mm-hmm.
Which was the role ultimately to decide whether or not Eggman had achieved personal growth.
We love leaving it up to random chance.
I mean, so my character build was all about making connections with people.
Mm-hmm.
So, like...
It didn't go super well. At first, at least.
I mean, I think it actually did.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a lot of locked links.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so had a heart link, which meant that he recognized himself in Wario and what he was doing. And so, yeah, the end result was, yes, he had achieved, that personal growth. If he hadn't and we won, he actually had the same plan as Dr. Starline, which was to take over, as you were allowed to do.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, I guess, for Eggman at least, he basically retired.
Mm-hmm.
He retired and had friends.
We like that for him. And, Tails' sort of epilogue, is that, she kind of decided, I really have been investing too much emotional energy in this shitty old man. Maybe I'll, try, experiencing some different worlds and, maybe, fucking expanding my horizons and meeting, new people.
So she went to go hang out with a different shitty old man?
This is a fun shitty man, though.
He's a very yelly, fun, shitty old man.
So Tails went to the Ep Monsters world to build robots with Haru and his grandpa.
Yeah.
And and she became roommates with Ray Ep Monsters.
Mm-hmm.
Which is very funny. I do like to imagine them as roommates. That would be silly and fun.
Oh boy, Ray hanging out with someone else that's a better hacker than him.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, man, I don't know. Yeah, I think that's about all I have to say, aside from, man, some of my favorite scenes were the fucking emotional confrontations between Tails and Eggman. Those got a lot. Those were, for a very silly campaign, those got very heavy.
Yes, they did. Also, I ended the campaign being I cannot play this character again.
Uh-huh.
It put me in a bad mental space.
Sometimes a tabletop game will do that to you.
Yeah, just a very manic asshole. Let's not do that again.
I hope you enjoyed your time regardless.
Oh, I absolutely did. Absolutely
good.
Excellent. A++.
Hell yeah, thank you so much. I'm so glad you had a good time and that, the campaign went as well as it did. Mm-hmm. I've been praising myself a lot for, all the funny bullshit I said, but, it wouldn't have been, half the campaign if, you and the rest of the players weren't, making, such strong character decisions and, having, such good chemistry with everyone.
Yeah, I'm going to say Roger Rabbit was the main character of the campaign.
I think Eggman was the main character, but Roger Rabbit was fucking unforgettable.
Mm-hmm.
Eggman had the most character growth, but Roger Rabbit was kind of the was kind of like the de facto leader of the party. I don't know if I would necessarily position him as like the leader of the party, but like definitely like the charismatic face, you know.
Yes, also the one that could always have a plan and a direction to go. Eggman was just me being, oh, what can I do to suck more?
We do love a shitty guy.
I mean, it's like, how can I engage in self-destructive behavior? So yes, he definitely had the most character growth, but I think of all of us, he also had the least amount to do with the actual plot.
I mean, the plot wasn't the most important thing, honestly. Like, you know, it was there, but like, you know, also like just like the little shitty one-off, like extremely insignificant, like, you know, scenes were like a big part of it and like a big part of the fun, and like, you know, honestly, like as or, you know, equally or more important than like the actual plot stuff, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
very important that that you get to play a game of Tin Pin Slammer with BB-8.
Yes. Yeah, we decided that Eggman was a super fan of Star Wars, but he had
which is canon.
Yeah, but he had only seen the original trilogy.
Doesn't know who the fuck BB-8 is.
Yeah, so yeah, no idea that was a Star Wars character.
God, BB-8 was like what, part of Gwendolyn's team?
I don't know.
I think BB-8 was with Gwendolyn and Gigon from Ranking of Kings.
Yeah, let's see. Maximilian Pegasus was with
Kirby and Master Chief.
Yeah, Kirby and Master Chief. Every time I put him in my notes, I referred to him as Maxi Pegs. The main thing I remember though was giving Gwendolyn a mech. I was very proud of giving Gwendolyn a mech.
Cause Gwendolyn Mouseguard is still a little mouse. I did not scale her up at all to interact with the rest of the characters.
And me as player, thought of her as probably the character that was the second biggest threat at that multi-way brawl.
Oh, certainly.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Yeah. That was a heck of a campaign.
It sure was.
Also, I think it lasted like twice as long as you intended.
Yeah, I originally wanted it to be like 7 sessions, one for each day, but then like by day 2 it kind of became apparent that we would need more time for it. So, you know, then I was like, okay, I'll double the length of each day, extend it out to 12 sessions, and then I was like, ooh, what if we did time loop on the last day? What if we made it 14? So it became, you know, it went from 7 to 14. It doubled in length.
Yeah. Anything else before we wrap up?
Yeah, I think that's about all I want to say. I could definitely go more into like yeah, boy, there's so much to say about this campaign, but you know, I want to save some stuff for when I have Dan and Patrick.
Oh,
I definitely want to get more into Neferpito. I want to get more into like Hanyu and like the stuff going on with Azrael.
Yeah, like speaking of Dan, like I mentioned, I felt like Roger Rabbit was the main character, but Dan's Azrael and Frisk were also excellent.
Oh yeah, like, yeah, very, like, just so many, like, good choices, like, all around on the player's part. Yeah, I think we can leave it on that.
Yes. So My contact info is very short and easy. Hey, I just got my new Discord account because that's a thing they're doing. So I have the new style Discord account. So my Discord account is now Xenuvar.
Hell yeah.
With the display name of Spike. Although currently in the server I am 300 IQ with a body to match.
Great.
Particularly because we were recording this today.
Great, yeah, I like it.
Because that is the first thing that I said in the campaign when I introduced myself to Asriel.
Yeah, so, boy, now, now that we've hit the end, I've, like, expended all my energy. Now I'm suddenly become sleepy. Also, I turned the air conditioning off for some damn reason.
Oh, no.
Maybe I thought it would make my audio quality better.
Yeah.
Bad decision, Emery.
Yeah, so this is, check out this guy. Like, I know you still need to do your contact stuff, but this is check out this guy. We have a cool Discord. You should join it. We have gotten a lot of people to join it recently.
Yeah. Shout out to everyone. I'm so excited that so many people seem interested.
Yeah, we have a place to show us your guys. We have a place for if you're an artist, you can give your commission info. We have the Black Tailmon Postal Service, where you can write things in for the show. So, like, if you want us to if you have questions about something, or if you just want to tell us about a guy briefly and have us discuss them, that's an option there. And the podcast is part of the Noise Space Network. That's noisespace.xyz. Z because the owner is Canadian. And there's a lot of cool podcasts on there.
Absolutely. So many good podcasts. We also have a co-host account and a Tumblr account. Both of those are Check Out This Guy, spelled like you would expect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm Emery. You can find me on the podcast We Rate Queerbait, where we talk about a bunch of silly media properties that should have been canonically gay, but are not.
And sometimes ones that are.
Yeah,
I'm not going to let that go.
There are straight people who watch App Monsters and say, no, I don't think so. They're wrong, but, they're still able to say that, which means that fundamentally it is queerbait.
I'm pretty sure, like, if I was a teenager and watched it, it would have completely gone over my head. So you are correct there.
Yeah. So let's see what else. I'm on for Affinity with the username Space Robot. I take commissions. If you want artwork of your little guy, hit me up. I'm on Discord. I've got an email address, spacerobotart@gmail.com. I'll draw your fucking guys for you. What else could you possibly want?
Look, and I'm gonna be sending you the money because today on this show, I guess I commissioned you.
Man, fucking refresh me. My memory is so bad right now. I've just been thinking about interstitial.
I mean, you're gonna have to do a slutty Xenu now.
Okay, yeah, of course. Great. Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure. You hadn't specified which character you wanted done slutty. I had assumed Xenu, but, it's nice to get confirmation.
Yeah, I mean, the others, I feel like it would be inappropriate for some of them. Because, like, that is not how they act or not something that they would do. probably.
Yeah,
so.
Slutty Eggman might be a bit challenging.
Oh God, no. I did have some banger Eggman outfits, which I will post, though.
Yeah.
With my limited talent.
Yeah, also, like, as Elvir said, slutty doesn't always equate to sexual.
Correct.
You can be slutty and never fuck. I like to be slutty and never fuck. That's good for me. That's a solid gender.
Sure is.
What else? I'm on an upcoming audio drama podcast. Details will be forthcoming. I am fucking bursting at the seams to tell you about this shit. It's very exciting. A lot of very cool people involved with it. And yeah, I'm excited about the character I play. So keep an eye out for that. And I think that about does it. Once again, we're confronted with the motherfucking outro of this podcast. Until next time, fuck the Olympics for real. This campaign is all about how bad the Olympics suck.
Yeah, they're not good. I mean...
This entire podcast has been wow, cool OCs, but the thing that the Gundam is shooting over our heads is fuck the Olympics.
Yeah, actually, let me read this out here real quick. The Olympics...
Are you gonna read...
The Olympics is not merciful. The Olympics has no patience for those judged unworthy. If you stand in defiance of the Olympics' ideals, you will be devoured.
I'm so funny. I wrote that shit.
You sure did.
Bye.
Bye.